The fitness industry has you convinced that building a jacked, strong upper body requires a gym membership, a dozen different exercises, and 90 minutes in time that you just don't have. And honestly, that is complete bollocks. I've been training for 16 years. I've done the whole commercial gym thing. I've competed in amateur strongman. I've trained in a garage with almost nothing. And if I had to start over from tomorrow with zero access to a gym, I'd build my entire body with 4 movements. 4. And I'm not going to make you wait until the end of the video to tell you what they are, because that's annoying and I'm not a dickhead. Pull-up variations, ring rows, ring push-up variations, ring dips. That's the list. A pull-up bar and a pair of gymnastics rings. Maybe about 50 to 100 quid/dollars total. And before you click off because that sounds too simple, I want you to understand this. The movements aren't the secret. Knowing how to perform them, why you're using them, and how to progress them to keep building muscle for years, that's the key. That's what actually matters. So a quick thing before we get into it. I keep saying movements and not exercises, and there's a reason for that. Your body doesn't give 2 shits what you call the thing that you're doing. It only knows the movement pattern and the tension that you're creating. So I don't want you walking away from this video thinking that you need to do these exact 4 exercises. You want to focus on the patterns underneath. Once you understand those, you can build muscle and build your upper body pretty much anywhere. So the 4 movement patterns. Your upper body does 2 things, pull and push. And in each of those, you've got a vertical and a horizontal. So a vertical pull and a horizontal pull, a vertical push and a horizontal push. Those are the 4 movements. And that's basically your entire upper body code. What I like to do is superset, a pull and a push, and I'll get through all 4 in about 30 minutes. Superset, if you're not aware, basically just means I will do a pull exercise, maybe rest 30, 60 seconds, then go into a push, then rest 1 or 2 minutes, and then go back into the pull. So you're pairing up a pull and a push. So pull-ups or chin-ups, they are your vertical pull staple. The foundation of your back training. It's going to build width through your lats, and nothing replaces it for creating that sort of V-taper look. Doesn't matter whether you're doing pull-ups or chin-ups here, you can mix and match, okay? Here's how I like to perform it. Shoulder width grip if I'm doing pull-ups. Obviously you can do neutral grip as well, and then you can do chin-ups where my palms and hands will be a little bit closer together. Dead hang at the bottom, full stretch, shoulders by my ears. Drive your elbows down towards your hips. Think chest to bar, not chin to bar. Control the descent. The eccentric is half the stimulus, okay? So lower yourself down slowly. The biggest mistake, kipping. Swinging your legs like you're trying to start a bloody swing set. If you can't do a full pull-up yet, there's a progression for that. If you can't currently do any pull-ups, do banded pull-ups to begin with. Those will assist you and help you learn the movement. Then you can move on to negatives, where you jump up to the top of the bar and lower yourself down nice and slowly for about 3 to 5 seconds. You can do that for sort of sets of 3 to 5 reps. Then you move on to doing bodyweight pull-ups or chin-ups. Then you move on to doing weighted chin-ups, right? And you'll see in the video here, I'm doing these with about 30 kilos of added weight, okay? Then you can move on to the ring rows, which is your horizontal pull. Now, ring rows are also going to help with your pull-ups, okay? Think of pull-ups building the width and the rows building the depth. So the muscles that you can't see in the mirror, but everyone else notices when you walk away. Your rhomboids, your rail delts, your traps, okay? Muscles that pop. Here's how I perform it. Rings at about hip height. Lower the rings to make the movement harder, okay? Grab them, walk your feet forward, lean back, straight line from head to shoulders, pull your chest to the rings, squeeze at the top, control it back down. The biggest mistake, turning this into a bicep curl. Your arms, think of your arms as hooks. Drive your elbows back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. If your biceps are the limiting factor, your back isn't doing the work. Now the progression for this is really simple. The angle is the weight. So start more upright to make it easier, and then as you get stronger, you walk your feet further forward. Then you can elevate your feet onto a box, then a weight vest or a plate on your chest. And you can also add pauses in at the top and the bottom to make the exercise harder. Ring push-up is your horizontal push. The best chest builder you can do without the gym. Honestly, it might be one of the best exercises you can do full stop for your chest. The rings let your hands move more naturally. No fixed bar path locking your shoulders into a position that they don't like, and that little bit of a wobble forces your stabilizer muscles to work. So here's how I like to perform it. Rings low, about kind of shin height. Push-up position, full body tension. Lower yourself until your chest is between the rings and you feel that kind of stretch across the pecs. Pause briefly at the bottom and then press back up to full lockout. And the top, you can bring the rings together a little bit to create a bit of extra squeeze and a bit of an extra contraction. The biggest mistake here is that in your hips sag, your lower back collapsing, not engaging your abs and your core properly and squeezing your glutes. You want to make sure all of that is nice and tight so that you can keep a straight line the entire time. Now the progression for this, kind of similar to the row. The angle is the progression. So the higher the rings are to start, the easier the exercise is, and then you lower them down to make it harder. Then you can elevate your feet, then you can do it with a weighted vest or have a plate on your back. You can add pauses into the top and the bottom as well to make the movement harder. Ring dips are your vertical push. The ring dip is arguably the go-to, in my opinion, of upper body pressing exercises. It's going to hit your chest, your front delts, and your triceps. On the ring, it demands more stability than, say, doing it on the bars would. Paired with the push-up, you're covering both pressing plates. You've got the heavy vertical load from the dip, and then you've got a deep stretch from the push-up. So, rings at about shoulder height for the ring dips. You want to get into the support position with your arms straight, where you're on top of the rings. Arms locked. You can turn the rings out slightly if you would like. Keep the body nice and tight. Lower yourself under control until your shoulders are just below your elbows or around, kind of like the elbow level. Get a deep stretch in there. Pause at the bottom so you don't have too much of a bounce, and then come back up. Biggest mistake with ring dips is half repping. So if you're not fully strong enough to do ring dips yet, and your range of motion isn't there, then you're going to follow a very similar process as you would with the pull-ups, okay? You can start by holding at the top with straight arms, right? To create some tension and just get used to the feeling of being in that top position on the ring dips. Building up to sort of like 30 to 60 seconds, okay? Then you can do band-assisted ring dips as well by looping the band through the rings, and that'll take some of your weight off. And then you can also do negatives, right? Where you jump up to the top, slowly down and put your feet on the floor. Then you can get to weighted and progress in the same way by adding pauses in like all of the other ones. For sets and reps here, for all of the movements, I typically like to hit 2 to 4 sets of each and generally aim for 6 to 12 reps. But sometimes I'll throw heavier sets in there where I'm just doing 3 to 5 reps. And sometimes I'll do higher rep sets where I'm doing 15 plus. See, there is no magic rep range to build muscle. As long as you're progressing and getting stronger, the rest is kind of noise. You can work with lower reps and higher reps. All you need to do is make sure that you're progressing over time. So here's what I want you to take away from this. You don't need a gym. You don't need 15 exercises. You don't need 90 minutes. You need a pull-up bar, a pair of rings, and 4 movement patterns that you can progress over a long period of time. Pull-ups, ring rows, ring push-ups, ring dips. Vertical pull, horizontal push, vertical push. 30 minutes. You do that twice a week and you will build a jacked, strong upper body. No questions asked. This is what I do in my garage. It's how I program for some of the clients that I work with. And it works because it's simple. Simple means you're able to do it. Simple means it gets done. Simple means you can track it. And simple means that you know whether you're getting stronger or not. The fitness industry wants you to believe it's more complicated so that they can sell you more shit that you don't need. It's not complicated, but it is hard. And the hardest part isn't necessarily the exercises themselves. It's adding a rep when you're tired and the kid was up 3 times in the night and you'd rather be sat on the couch stuffing your face with popcorn, right? But if you commit to these 4 movements week after week, adding a rep here, adding an extra set here, adding a bit of weight here, adding in a pause here, you will build an upper body that looks like you train, and you don't need a gym for it. Now, if you want a simple system that tells you exactly what to do to get jacked, lean and strong from home without nothing but a pull-up bar and a set of rings, my bodyweight jack program is linked in the description below. Over 1,050 men have bought and been through this program. It works if you do the work.